Today, I've got the story of Kimberly, who graduated college in 4 weeks and 1 month, and it would have cost her $3,400, but the full-time job that she works actually paid for the entire thing. Add on to this the fact that she's a mom of 2, she's engaged, soon to get married, and man, she must be busy. And in fact, she used to watch these same interviews that you're watching now to get motivation to convince herself to just go for it. And now she's done it. So we're going to hear her story and hear how she did it. And then you can have inspiration too, and you can go do it for yourself.
When I graduated in 2000, I came out with an associate's degree in business administration. I had a degree from a nationally accredited school, which was fine at the time. It seemed to get me my first job. I was with that first job for 16 years. However, over the course of time and with a few moves out of Connecticut, which I'm originally from, to South Carolina and then eventually Florida, I found it increasingly harder to obtain a job without the bachelor's degree. And in the back of my mind, it was something that I always wanted to pursue, but there was always an excuse. I didn't have enough time. I was having children. It was too costly. Back in the olden days, there wasn't necessarily online colleges, especially competency-based. I almost was terrified to even make the step towards getting it as I got older and like I said, got away from school. But I ended up at an organization last year, and my boss, who was instrumental in helping me pursue this academic journey of mine, suggested, that I tap into the continuing education money that the school was providing. So I started looking into it, and a coworker of mine was the one that first mentioned that I could test out of courses. And she mentioned CLEP. Another coworker of mine told me about Sophia. Sophia is super cheap. It's $100 a month. It's competency-based learning. They give you 2 courses at a time. And I just started plowing away. But I have to say that in the time between me taking that leap towards Sophia, I tried transferring my associate's degree to any college that would take it. However, my nationally accredited degree no longer stood at all to be transferred because they had lost their accreditation. It made my degree null and void in the eyes of transfers. So I realized I had to start from the beginning, which was just awful. I felt like an ant at the bottom of Mount Kilimanjaro. I mean, just that climb all the way up from 0 credits to 120. But once I got going and realized, how quickly I could get through Sophia, that's when I decided to go back to your channel to see where these credits would be able to transfer. And then within a month, I settled on B. University of Maine at Presque Isle, and that was mostly because of cost and the competency-based learning. Such a great university. My academic advisor, the registrar, everybody that I dealt with there was just wonderful. The first session, which was 8 weeks, I did 8 classes within those 8 weeks. It was tough. Currently, I'm still in the second session of University of Maine. However, I finished all of my credits, and I have 3 weeks left, and I've decided to contact my academic advisor and just find out what courses can transfer into a master's now. I figured why not just go for it?
Yeah, because there are several bachelor's in business and management leadership courses that transfer directly into the Master's of Arts in Organizational Leadership at UMPE.
Right. I might also add too that if you just Google what's the fastest course at UMPE that you can take for high electives, I did that a lot. The degree I went for was the Bachelor of Liberal Studies, based on, again, another recommendation, Bachelor of Liberal Studies with an accounting minor, because my entire career has been focused in finance. Ironically, the courses that required the most writing, I was the most worried about. I was just worried for myself for some reason. Again, the bachelor on the pedestal.
What does it mean exactly to put a bachelor's degree on a pedestal?
I just felt like I kept talking myself out of it. Like I couldn't achieve it. I felt like, the farther I get away from school, the less I'm going to, know how to cite things, know how to write papers, know what the professors are looking for. But the first class that I took was English composition. And as I was writing my first paper, I thought to myself, I know what I'm doing. I've been in the workforce for over 20 years. We write things all the time. And I don't know why I talked myself out of it for so long.
It's a common experience. The whole struggle for adults going back to college is you've got lives. So
Right.
How did you balance your life with your college?
I wake up super early. I'm up at 4:30 every morning, which sounds insane to some people, but that is my time to have my coffee and go along with my papers. So I would work a lot in the very early morning. If there was a lull at work, I would throw in, some kind of quick submission that I knew I could get done. I think the biggest thing is everybody can do this. You just have to have the right motivation and the perseverance. Once I got going, there was no stopping. And I think having that along with the support of everyone is huge. I mean, when I tell you that my fiance and both my children, I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son, everyone was right there with me on this journey. Had I done this 10 years ago, with a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, I don't think it would have been feasible. Like I said, my boss was incredibly supportive. That key, recipe, the motivation, the perseverance to get it done, the support system is crucial. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of late nights. It takes a lot of time saying, hey, I can't do this right now because I have to get this done because you're in a time crunch, with the competency base.
Now that you have completed the bachelor's degree, how do you view yourself differently?
I have much more respect for my self-worth, and what I'm capable of doing. I didn't think I was capable of getting that accomplished, which is so ridiculous now that I look back at it. Also, when I look back at the beginning of this journey to the end, there's such a feeling of accomplishment, of knowing, oh my goodness, I set forth these goals and I was able to achieve them on my own in such an efficient time. I have a gratefulness that I was able to tap into the right people to lead me down this path.
What's the next step for you after this, apart from the master's degree?
When I spoke with my boss, before I started this, she has a path for me at our college. The next step is just furthering my career with those steps towards that final goal.
If you had one piece of advice you were going to give to somebody who was in your same shoes 6 months ago, what would you tell that person?
Definitely tap into the resources. There's so much information out there regarding how you can obtain something like a bachelor's degree. Tap into, people around you, see what their journeys have been. You can go on Google and see what are the best courses to take, at UMPI. What are the easiest ones? What are the quickest ones? What are the hardest ones? And based on other people's stories, that's how I was able to create a spreadsheet of which classes I wanted to take.
Kimberly, I appreciate you taking the time. It's been a pleasure getting to talk with you. Thank you for, kind of passing it forward, sharing some inspiration with the rest of us, and we wish you all the best with that master's degree.
Thank you so much.
And that's Kimberly's story. Kimberly, we appreciate you being on. And if you watching this want to go graduate college quickly and inexpensively so you can build a career that you love, check out the link in the description. We love helping people put together a step-by-step plan, saving you hours and tens of hours, weeks of research to be able to put that plan together, to pick a college, to pick a major so that you can follow your career path. It's a huge honor for us to be part of anybody's success story. We're rooting for Kimberly. Hope that she does great in the master's program. Thanks for watching and happy hacking.